Once upon a briny blue, there lived a pirate named Barnaby Bubbles McGee. Now, Barnaby wasn't your typical treasure-hoarding, plank-walking pirate. Oh no, his treasure wasn't gold or jewels, but something far more precious, far more wobbly. Barnaby McGee treasured bubbles. Not just any bubbles, mind you, but the most magnificent, shimmering, rainbow-hued bubbles the seven seas had ever seen. He had a special bubble solution, a secret recipe passed down through his family, made with a single drop of mermaid's tear and the laughter of a dolphin. His bubble wand, carved from the enchanted wood of a singing willow tree, could create bubbles the size of cannonballs and clusters of tiny bubbles that sparkled like a starry night. Every morning, Captain Barnaby would stand on the deck of his ship, the glimmering pearl, and fill the sky with his creations. The crew, a motley bunch of the kindest pirates you'd ever meet, would cheer as the bubbles floated by, carrying the scent of sea salt and sweet adventure. Sailors on other ships would stop and stare, their tough exteriors melting away at the sight of such simple, pure joy. Barnaby's bubbles brought smiles to everyone. But one stormy morning, disaster struck. A rogue wave, bigger and angrier than any they'd ever seen, crashed over the deck of the glimmering pearl. It swept across the ship, taking everything that wasn't tied down, including Captain Barnaby's precious chest. Inside that chest was his secret bubble solution, his enchanted wand, and his lifetime supply of mermaid tears. The chest was gone, swallowed by the churning, gray ocean. A hush fell over the ship. The sky, once filled with color and light, was now just an empty, sad blue. Barnaby stared out at the horizon, his heart sinking lower than his anchor. Without his bubbles, he wasn't Barnaby Bubbles McGee. He was just Barnaby. The crew tried to cheer him up. First Mate Finn juggled coconuts. Cook Clara baked his favorite seaweed pie. But nothing worked. The joy had been washed out to sea. For days, Barnaby mopped. He tried making new bubble solutions with regular soap and seawater, but they were sad, pathetic little things that popped before they even left the wand. He felt like the sun had gone out in his world. One afternoon, as he sat slumped against the mast, a tiny parrot with feathers the color of a sunset landed on his shoulder. It was Pip, the ship's smallest but wisest crew member. "Captain," Pip chirped. "The treasure wasn't in the chest," Barnaby sighed. "Of course it was, Pip. My solution, my wand, everything." Pip shook his little head. "No, Captain. The bubbles were magical because you made them. The real magic, the real treasure, was the happiness you shared with everyone. That came from your heart, not from a bottle." Barnaby looked at Pip, then at his loyal crew watching him with hopeful eyes. He looked at his own hands. He remembered the joy he felt watching a perfectly round bubble catch the light. He remembered the laughter of his crewmates as they tried to pop the giant ones. Pip was right. The ingredients were special, yes, but the true magic was the intent, the love, the desire to spread happiness. A slow smile spread across Barnaby's face. He stood up, his posture straighter, his eyes regaining their old sparkle. "Pip, you're a genius. Mates, hoist the sails. We're not looking for a lost chest anymore." The crew cheered, their spirits lifting instantly. "What are we looking for, Captain?" shouted Finn. Barnaby grinned, a true, bubbling grin. "We're going on a new adventure, to find new ingredients. We'll find a new singing willow, we'll make a dolphin laugh, and as for the mermaid's tear, well, we'll just have to tell a very sad story to a very kind mermaid." The crew roared with laughter and excitement. Their captain was back. Barnaby realized the treasure wasn't the bubbles themselves, but the joy of creating and sharing them. And that was a treasure no storm could ever wash away. And so, with a renewed spirit and a heart full of hope, Captain Barnaby McGee sailed on, ready to fill the world with bubbles once more, proving that the greatest treasures we have are the joy and kindness we share with others. Thank you so much for joining us on this little adventure. If you enjoyed our story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the high seas. See you next time.